Okay, so for this one, we have the roots of the following equation. It's also quadratic. And I hope you've noticed that if you put on decimals, most of the graphs will tell you what the roots are, what the x-intercepts are. We're just looking at these 2 points. But if we try to do this graph, it looks like this. So the graph doesn't actually touch the x-axis or cross it. That means we have imaginary solutions, which means you have to do it by hand. There's no way around it. So to do it by hand, we also start with standard form. So notice it's x squared, x, no x. X squared, x, no x. That means this is A, B, and C. But now instead of doing the x puzzle, we're going to find the discriminant, which should be negative because we already know we have imaginary solutions. So we plug them in. Plug in A, B, and C. Notice we're going to start with B first. B is 12. Minus 4 times A. A is 3 and C is 22. You're going to type this in decimals exactly how you see it. Don't forget the squared. And it should give you the value of 120 or negative 120. Again, it has to be negative. That's why we know we have 2 imaginary solutions. So now that we have this discriminant, we can type it back to the actual equation, which is negative b plus or minus square root of d over 2a. Negative b just means you change the sign of the b value. So it's negative 12 over 2 times a is 3. And then we have the square root of the d value, the discriminant, which is negative 120. And then from there we simplify. I'm going to do it here. Negative 12 on the bottom. 2 times 3 is 6. Plus or minus for the square root of negative 120. First, we separate the negative. That makes the I. My answer has an I on there. And then for the 120, we find numbers that we can multiply to get 120. You can just do, if you're not sure what to do, you're going to start with dividing it by 2, which will be 2 and 60. This is 120, which is 2 and 60. And then you go from there. You divide the 60, 2 and 30. Keep going until we can't go any further. Any number that you broke down, we don't look at anymore. You look at all the numbers on the edges and find pairs. It looks like that's the only pair I have, so the 2 can come out. For my square root, any number that did not have a pair, 2, 3, and 5, you multiply them back into the inside. So 2 times 3 is 6, times 5 is 30. And this is my answer for now. Hopefully you can try and simplify this on decimals. If it doesn't simplify, we leave it as it is. We can try to reduce the fraction. I think it's because we have a 2. I think these are all even. So I'm going to divide them all by 2. So here divided by 2, we get negative 6. 2 divided by 2 is just 1, so it's gone. On the bottom divided by 2, it's 3. So something like this.